before you do anything else this morning, before you check your phone, before you think about what's waiting for you today, before the weight of everything you're carrying has a chance to settle back onto your shoulders. Just breathe. You made it to another morning. And I don't want you to move past that too fast. Because some people didn't. Someone, somewhere, went to sleep last night and didn't wake up. Someone who had plans, someone who had people waiting for them, someone who maybe didn't get to say the things they meant to say. But you're here, and that is not a small thing. That is not an accident. That is grace, the quiet kind, the kind that doesn't announce itself, the kind that just shows up in the form of one more morning, one more chance, one more breath. I want to talk to you about prayer this morning, not the kind that sounds like a script, not the kind that performs itself, the kind that gets louder so it sounds more sincere. I want to talk about the kind of prayer that happens when you are so tired you don't have the right words anymore, when you're not sure what to ask for, when the only honest thing you can do is sit down and say, I need you. I don't know how this is going to work out, but I need you. That's where we're starting today, because there is a kind of peace that doesn't make sense. That's not a motivational phrase. That's something real, something that people who have walked through very hard things will recognize immediately. The kind of peace that shouldn't be there, given everything that's happening, and yet it is quiet, steady underneath. All of it like a floor that doesn't move even when the walls are shaking. That peace is available to you right now, not after the problem is solved, not after the situation changes, right now in the middle of whatever you're carrying. But you have to turn toward it. That's what prayer is at its most essential, not a list of requests, not a negotiation, not a performance for an audience. It's a turning, a deliberate choice to stop facing inward, into the worry, into the what-ifs, into the version of the future. Your fear keeps building, and to face something larger than yourself instead. There's a reason people have done this for thousands of years, across cultures, across languages, in moments of unspeakable grief and in moments of overwhelming gratitude. Human beings have always known, somewhere deep and inarticulate, that we were not built to carry everything alone. We were not meant to figure it all out by ourselves. And yet most of us spend most of our days trying to do exactly that, planning every angle, controlling every outcome, holding our breath waiting for the next thing to go wrong so we can manage it before it gets worse. Exhausted not from what happened, but from bracing for what might. That kind of living wears a person down in ways that sleep can't fix. What I've learned, not from a book, but from seasons of my own life where I had no idea how anything was going to be okay, is that the moment you stop gripping so hard, something shifts. Not everything changes at once, but something in you does, and that something is enough to take the next step. There is a difference between a person who starts their day reaching outward, toward the noise, toward the demands, toward everything the world is already lining up to ask of them, and a person who starts their day turning inward first, toward something quiet, something steady, something that was there before the morning began and will still be there after the day ends. That difference is not small. Over time it becomes everything. This morning, before your day begins, you are going to do something simple and profound. You are going to thank God, not because everything is fine, not because you have everything you need, but because gratitude offered honestly, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard, opens something in us that fear had quietly closed. You are going to ask for peace, for blessing, for the kind of breakthrough that doesn't always look like what we expected, but always turns out to be exactly what we needed. Stay with me. We're going to pray together this morning. And by the time we're done, something in you is going to be lighter than when we started. Not because the circumstances will have changed, but because you will have. There is a kind of gratitude that costs something. Not the easy kind, the kind you feel when everything is going well, when the news is good, when the people you love are safe, and the bills are paid, and the day stretches out in front of you without anything sharp in it. I mean the other kind, the kind you have to choose, the kind that looks at a hard season directly and says, even here, even in this, there is something worth acknowledging. That kind of gratitude is not denial. It's not pretending things are fine when they aren't. It's something older and quieter than that. It's the decision to notice what remains when everything else has been stripped away. And what remains, always without exception, is the fact that you are here, still breathing, still capable of this moment. That is where blessing begins, not in the arrival of what we asked for, but in the recognition of what was never taken. Let me tell you about a morning I haven't talked about much. It was early, the kind of early where the world hasn't decided what it's going to be yet. Dark outside, quiet inside, and I was sitting at a table with a cup of coffee, and a problem I had been carrying for so long it had started to feel like part of my body. One of those situations where you've prayed and waited and tried every angle you could think of, and nothing had moved. And you start to wonder, quietly, in the place you don't say out loud, if anything is actually listening. I didn't feel faithful that morning. I felt tired. And I think that matters to say, because most of what we hear about prayer and faith and breakthrough is told from the other side, from the place where it worked out, where the story has a resolution and a lesson and a clean ending. And that's valuable. But it can make you feel, in the middle of your own unresolved thing, like something is wrong with you. Like everyone else's faith is stronger. Like you're the one who doesn't quite have access to what everyone else seems to have found. That morning, I didn't pray anything beautiful. I just said, I can't carry this anymore. That was it. No scripture, no structure, no eloquence, just the truest thing I had offered with both hands. And something happened. Not a voice, not a sign, not a sudden change in circumstances, but a quality of silence that felt different from the silence before, like the room had shifted slightly, like something had been received. I didn't understand it then. I'm not sure I fully understand it now, but I know that the weight I walked in with was not the same weight I stood up with. Peace doesn't always announce its arrival. Sometimes it just quietly replaces something that was there before. I've talked to enough people who have lost children, people who have lost everything they built, people who have sat in hospital rooms and courtrooms and empty houses, to know that this experience is not unique to me, that there is something that meets people in their most stripped-down moments, when all the performance is gone and all that's left is the honest cry underneath it. Theologians have written about it for centuries. Ordinary people have known it without any words for it at all. It is the peace that passes understanding, not the peace that arrives after understanding, not the peace that comes when you've figured it out, the peace that comes before any of that. That makes no logical sense given your circumstances. That sits in the middle of the storm, not because the storm has stopped, but because something in you has found a place to stand that the storm cannot reach. There is a kind of courage that grows in that place. It isn't loud. It doesn't announce itself. It just shows up in the small decisions. The choice to get up, to keep going, to extend grace to someone who hasn't earned it, to believe one more time that something good is still possible. I know people who have that kind of courage, and without exception, every single one of them built it the same way. Not through willpower, not through discipline alone, but through the daily practice of turning before the day took over, before the demands arrived, before everything urgent crowded out everything important, turning towards something larger than themselves and saying, simply, I cannot do this without you. That is not weakness. That is the most honest thing a person can say. And honesty, offered in the quiet of the morning before anyone else is watching, before there's anything to perform or prove. That is where something real begins to grow, something that the hard days cannot uproot, because it was planted deep enough, early enough, in the right kind of soil. This is why the morning matters, not as a ritual you check off a list, not as something you do because you're supposed to, but as a declaration, a quiet daily declaration, that you are choosing to begin from a place of connection rather than a place of fear. That you are going to face whatever this day holds, not with your own strength alone, but with something underneath you that does not run out. That something has a name, and in a few moments we are going to speak directly to it. But first, before we ask for anything, we are going to do something that most people skip. Something that changes the entire quality of what comes after it. Something that moves us from the posture of someone who is desperate into the posture of someone who is grounded. We are going to give thanks, not because we feel like it, not because everything is good, but because there is always, even in the hardest seasons, something that has been given that was not earned, something that remained when it could have left, something that held when everything else was falling. We are going to name it, and in the naming of it, something in us is going to open. Something that was clenched is going to release, and from that open place, not from the clenched place, not from the desperate place, but from the open place, we are going to pray. Before we ask for anything, before we bring what we need, before we name what's broken, before we lay down what's heavy, we stop here for just a moment. Not long, but long enough to do something that most people skip entirely. We give thanks, not because everything is fine, not because the road has been easy or the season has been kind, but because there is something in you right now, something that remained when it could have left, something that held when everything else was falling, and that something deserves to be acknowledged before we ask for more. Think about what it took for you to be here this morning, not just last night's sleep. I mean everything. Every moment that could have gone differently and didn't. Every time something was harder than you thought you could handle and you handled it anyway. Every person who showed up for you when they didn't have to. Every door that closed and redirected you somewhere you couldn't see yet. Your life, when you trace it honestly, is threaded through with moments of grace you didn't earn and couldn't have planned. That is what we are acknowledging right now. There is a man I know who lost almost everything in the span of 18 months. His business, his marriage, a friendship that had been the steadiest thing in his adult life. And he told me that what kept him from going completely dark was a practice he started almost by accident. Every morning, before anything else, he would say 3 things out loud that he still had. Some mornings it was hard to find 3 things. Some mornings the list was, I have air in my lungs, I have a floor under my feet, I have one more day. But he said something out loud every morning, and slowly something in him stabilized. Not because his circumstances changed immediately, but because he had found something solid underneath the loss, something the loss hadn't taken. That is what gratitude does. Not make everything okay, but keep you tethered to what remains when everything else is shaking. So before we prayed, right now in this moment, I want you to think of just one thing. One thing you have that you did not earn, could not have guaranteed, did not manufacture yourself. Maybe it's the person sleeping in the next room. Maybe it's the fact that your mind still works, still wonders, still reaches towards something better even when it's tired. Maybe it's simply this morning, arriving again, unrequested, full of possibility you haven't touched yet. Hold that. Hold it for just a breath, because what we are about to bring to God, we want to bring with open hands, not clenched fists, not a list of demands. Open hands, the posture of someone who already knows they are seen, already knows they are not forgotten, already knows that what they need has not been overlooked. That is where prayer begins, not in the asking, in the knowing. Let's pray. Father, we come to you this morning not because we have everything figured out, not because we've been perfect, not because we've earned this moment or anything that's in it. We come because we need you, because the day ahead of us is bigger than we are, because the things we're carrying are heavier than we were built to carry alone, and because somewhere underneath, everything underneath the worry and the noise and the weight of it all, there is still a part of us that believes, that knows you are here, that knows this reaching is not reaching into empty air. We start with thank you, not because everything is easy, Not because the road has been smooth, but because we are still here. Because the night passed and the morning came and we are still breathing and still capable of this moment. Can't that, even just that, and is more than we had any right to expect. Thank you for the breath in our lungs. Thank you for the minds that still work, still wonder, still reach towards something better, even when they're tired. Thank you for the people in our lives who carry us when we cannot carry ourselves. Thank you for the doors that closed, even the ones that broke our hearts when they did, because we can see now, or we're beginning to see, that something was being redirected, not removed. Thank you for the mornings we didn't appreciate, for the ordinary days we moved through without noticing, for the quiet, unremarkable grace of a life that continued when it could have stopped. Thank you for being the kind of God who doesn't require us to be at our best before you'll listen. We are not at our best this morning. Some of us are barely holding on. Some of us woke up already exhausted, already behind, already dreading something we can't quite name. Some of us are grieving things we haven't told anyone about. Some of us have been smiling on the outside. For so long we've forgotten what it feels like to just be honest. You already know all of it. And you're still here, still present, still the same yesterday and today and in whatever comes next. That is enough to begin with. Now we ask for peace, not the peace that comes after everything is resolved, not the peace that waits on the other side of the hard thing. We ask for the peace that is available right now, in the middle of it. The kind that makes no sense given the circumstances. The kind that people who have walked through fire will recognize. That strange, inexplicable steadiness that shows up when it has no business being there. Let that peace come this morning. Let it come into the places that are tight with worry, into the shoulders that have been carrying tension so long they've forgotten what it feels like to be relaxed, into the mind that runs at night, rehearsing problems, building scenarios, bracing for impact, into the chest, into that quiet place behind the sternum where we hold the things we can't say out loud. Peace, real peace, the kind only you can give. And we ask for blessing. Not just the blessings that look like blessings, the obvious ones, the visible ones, the ones other people can see and measure. We ask for the deeper kind, the blessing of clarity when we are confused about which direction to go. The blessing of courage when we know what we need to do, but fear is louder than conviction. The blessing of patience when the thing we're waiting for is taking longer than we thought we could endure. Bless our families this morning, the ones who are close and the ones who are far, the ones we talk to every day and the ones we've lost touch with and think about more than they know. Bless the relationships that are strong and bless the ones that are broken. Bless the conversations that need to happen and haven't yet. Bless the forgiveness that is overdue in both directions. Bless our work. Whatever our hands find to do today, let it be done with a sense of purpose that goes beyond the task itself. Let us remember that ordinary faithfulness in ordinary moments is not a small thing. That's showing up, doing the work, being present and honest and reliable. That is a form of worship that doesn't require a stage. Bless our bodies, the ones that are strong and the ones that are struggling, the ones that are healing and the ones that are tired. Bless every person listening who is carrying a physical burden this morning. Pain, illness, exhaustion, a body that isn't doing what they need it to do. Let them feel even in that they are not forgotten, that their suffering has been seen. That healing is not outside the realm of what you can do. Bless our finances, the ones who are comfortable, and the ones who are one unexpected bill away from a crisis, the ones who are rebuilding from loss and the ones who are just beginning and don't know how it's going to work. Let provision come. Let doors open that have been closed. Let opportunities appear that weren't visible yesterday. And bless the secret things, the prayers we haven't said out loud, the hopes we've been afraid to name because naming them makes them real. And real things can be disappointed. The dreams we put away years ago because life got practical and there wasn't room for them anymore. You know what they are. We don't have to say them perfectly. We just have to let them be known. And they already are. Receive them this morning. Every unspoken thing, every half-formed hope, every quiet longing that has been waiting, patient and persistent for this exact moment. Let blessing come to it. Let light come to it. Let it be held this morning by something larger and more faithful than our own two hands. Now we ask for the thing that feels hardest to ask for, not because it's too much, but because somewhere along the way, most of us were taught quietly, without anyone meaning to teach it, that asking for too much is presumptuous, that wanting a breakthrough, a real one, a significant change in the actual circumstances of your life is somehow greedy, somehow faithless, like you should be content with peace and leave the big requests alone. I want to gently push back on that this morning, because the same voice that said ask and it will be given, seek and you will find, that voice knew exactly what it was inviting. It wasn't inviting small requests. It wasn't inviting cautious, carefully hedged prayers that leave enough room for disappointment to feel manageable. It was inviting the full weight of what you actually need. The real thing, the thing underneath the thing you usually say. So we're going to ask for that today. Lord, we ask for breakthrough. Not a small adjustment, not a slight improvement. We ask for the kind of movement that makes clear it did not come from human effort alone. The kind of shift that people look back on later and say, something happened there. Something changed that I cannot fully explain. We ask for breakthrough in the situations that have been stuck, the ones we've prayed about before, the ones we've brought to you so many times, we've started to wonder if we should stop asking. The ones that have been standing in the same place for so long that waiting has started to feel permanent. We know that your timing is not our timing. We know that delay is not denial. We hold on to that. But this morning we are asking with everything underneath what we know, with the part of us that is tired, that is worn, that needs to see something move. Move, Lord, in those situations, in whatever way you choose, in whatever direction is right, even if it's not the direction we expected, but move. We ask for breakthrough in our relationships, the ones that are broken and feel irreparable, the ones where the damage has been sitting so long that both people have started to build their lives around it instead of toward each other. We don't ask for things to go back to what they were. Sometimes what they were wasn't right either. We ask for something new, something honest, something that could only be built from this exact place of having been broken and choosing anyway to try again. Soften what has become hard. Open what has been shut. Where there is pride standing between two people who love each other, let something dissolve it. Where there is hurt that has calcified into distance, let something reach across it. Not because they deserve it, not because it's easy, but because you are the God who makes things new. And we are asking you to do that here. We ask for breakthrough in health, for the bodies that are fighting, for the diagnoses that came and changed everything, for the people who have been told what their future looks like and are sitting with that information, trying to find a way to hold it without being crushed by it. We ask for healing, complete healing, where that is your will, and where the path is longer, We ask for strength that does not run out, for clarity in the decisions that need to be made, for doctors who find what they're looking for treatments that work, for the kind of grace that carries a person through what they cannot carry themselves. We ask for breakthrough in provision, for the business that needs one more chance, for the job that needs to come through, for the debt that has been pressing down for years, quietly reshaping what a person believes is possible for them, for the person who has been faithful with what little they have and is waiting, still waiting, to see if faithfulness is rewarded. Let something open. Let something come through that wasn't visible yesterday. Let the provision arrive in a way that leaves no doubt about where it came from. We ask for breakthrough in purpose, for the person who has been going through the motions, who is doing everything right on the outside but feels on the inside like they've lost the thread of why any of it matters, who used to feel called towards something and now just feels tired. Let something reawaken. Let the thing that was placed in them before they were born, the binested visa, thing that no amount of disappointment has been able to fully extinguish, let it stir again, quietly at first, and then with growing certainty, until they remember, until they know again why they are here and what they are meant to do with the time they have left. And we ask for breakthrough in faith itself, for the people whose belief has grown thin, who still show up, still pray, still go through the motions, but somewhere in the distance between what they asked for and what came, something got quiet inside them. The certainty they used to have has become more of a hope, and the hope has become more of a question. And the question has started to feel, on the hardest days, like it might not have an answer. Meet them there. Not with explanations, not with theology, with presence, the kind of presence that doesn't fix the hard thing, but sits with you in it. The kind that makes the hard thing survivable not because it removes it, but because you are no longer alone inside it. That is what we are asking for. Not a feeling, not an emotion that will fade by afternoon, but an encounter, something real, something that leaves a mark, something that a person carries out of this morning and into the rest of their day and into the rest of their week, and finds, when they reach for it in the dark, that it is still there. Let breakthrough come in ways we recognize, and in ways we don't expect, in ways that arrive so quietly we almost miss them, and then look back a month from now and realize that was it. That was the moment. That was when it turned. We are asking for the turn. We are asking for it today, this morning, in this moment where we have stopped everything else to say, we need you, we trust you, we are not giving up, and we are expecting you to move. We're almost at the end of this prayer, but before we close, I want to stay here just a moment longer, because this right here, this exact moment, is worth not rushing past. You stopped in the middle of everything your life is asking of you right now. You stopped and turned towards something larger than yourself. That is not nothing. That is, in fact, everything. Most people won't do that today. Most people will move from the alarm to the phone to the coffee to the first obligation before they've taken a single conscious breath, before they've decided deliberately who they are going to be today, before they've given themselves the chance to be held before they are spent. You did something different this morning. Remember that when the day gets hard, and it might, days do, not because something is wrong with you, not because your prayer didn't work, but because this is what life is. It is full of moments that require everything we have. And the question is never whether those moments will come. The question is what we are standing on when they do. You stood on something solid this morning. Carry that with you. Father, as we close this time together, we ask for one final thing. Let what happened here this morning stay with us. Not just the feeling of it, Feelings are temporary and we know that. But the truth underneath the feeling, the truth that we are not alone, that we are seen, that what we carry has been received by hands that do not grow tired and do not let go. Let the peace we touched here not be a morning-only peace. Let it be available to us at 2 in the afternoon when everything is loud and the day has taken more than we expected to give. Let it be available in the evening when we are depleted and the quietness of the house feels heavier than it should. Let it be available in the middle of the night when the dark has a way of making everything feel permanent that is not permanent. Let us remember when we forget. And we will forget, because we are human and forgetting is part of what we do. We will walk out of this morning and into the noise, and by noon we may not feel any of what we feel right now. That is okay. That is not failure. That is just the nature of being a person, living a real life in a real world. But let the return be easy. Let the distance between us and this place never grow so wide that we cannot find our way back. Let there always be something, a quiet moment, a breath, a single honest word, and that brings us back to this, to the truth that we are held, that we are known, that we are not doing this alone. Bless this day, every hour of it, the ones that feel significant and the ones that feel like maintenance, the conversations we are looking forward to and the ones we have been dreading, the tasks that carry obvious meaning and the ones that feel invisible. Let all of it be held. Let none of it be wasted. Let even the ordinary moments of this ordinary day become somehow exactly what they were meant to be. And let us be one for someone today without planning it, the unexpected kindness that arrived at the right moment, the presence that made someone feel even briefly, because that is how grace moves through the world. But through morning in a quiet place and carried, not have manufactured on their own, something given. Go into this day knowing you are loved, not based on how today goes, loved now exactly here, everything still possible. And it will still be true tonight. And if this prayer meant something to you this morning, if something shifted, even slightly, I want to ask you to do one thing before you move on with your day. Not because the numbers matter. Someone who woke up this morning, where to put it down. Someone who is holding on by a thread and just needs to know they are not alone. 5 people. And if you want more mornings like this one, add more prayer. That goes underneath the surface. Because this is what we do here. No performance, no hype, just honest words for people who are trying to live. World that makes both of those things. Before you go, leave a comment. Tell me what kind of breakthrough you are standing at the edge of. What you brought into this morning that you are hoping to leave a little lighter. And whatever you are for you on the other side of this morning, I will see you in the next one. Without performing it, let us be the answer to someone else's prayer. The word that landed exactly where it needed to land, like they were not alone in what they were carrying. Not only from above, through ordinary people who started there, something out of it that they could, something real, something worth passing on, not conditionally, not pending the outcome of the thing you are most worried about right now, as you are. With everything still unresolved and everything still uncertain and everything, that is the truth this morning was built on. Amen. Even quietly, share this with someone. But because you already know someone who needed to hear this today, carrying something heavy and has no idea, someone who hasn't prayed in a long time and doesn't know how to start again, send it to them, that is all. More of this kind of conversation, and stays there. Follow this channel. Every time, no hollow promises. Honestly and believe faithfully in a harder than they should be. Tell me what you are believing for this season. Tell me what is heavy right now. I read everyone. Walking into today, whatever is waiting, you are not walking into it alone.